All right, so this is the crystal hill I am wailing to die on, and I'm probably going to piss some people off in the process. But here we go. All right, see the flashes? If you call this Moonstone, you have absolutely no right to call this Satin Spar and throw a temper tantrum over it. Now let me tell you why. Okay, this is sold, trade named, they call it selenite. Why? It is Satin Spar gypsum. That is truly what it is, okay? Satin Spar gypsum. You cannot call it Satin Spar. Satin Spar is not a standalone name. There are 3 different minerals that have the Satin Spar name. They include gypsum, aka selenite, calcite, and aragonite. In fact, calcite was the first one to have the name Satin Spar. So that would be like calling this rainbow. You wouldn't do it, would you? No, because there's other rainbows. So yes, it's more in alignment with its coloring, whereas this, again, is kind of how it's made, how it looks, but it's not a standalone name. And here's the thing, Satin Spar gypsum is identical chemically to clear gypsum, which is selenite. And honestly, selenite sounds prettier than it does gypsum, which is why they call this selenite. Technically, Satin Spar selenite, Satin Spar gypsum, but they've just shortened it because that's just how it sells better. If you look into the Caribbean calcite, you're going to find some indiscrepancies there too. But let me get back to my hill. This, everybody knows this is Rainbow Moonstone, right? And most people shorten it to say Moonstone. This is not a moonstone. This is labradorite. It is identical chemically to labradorite. The difference is it's a white labradorite. It is sold with the trade name of Rainbow Moonstone. And so everybody assumes because of the name that it's a moonstone. They called it that because of how it looks. But this is not a moonstone. It is labradorite. So chemically identical to labradorite, everybody thinks that's okay to call it a moonstone. Chemically identical to selenite, and nobody thinks that's okay to call it selenite. There's my hill. Yes, it's okay to call this selenite. Satin Spar selenite or Satin Spar gypsum is the more accurate description, but if you want to shorten it, that's okay. But if you think calling this just Moonstone's gonna fly, no, it's labradorite. But at least now you know, and there's my hill. I hope you learned something.